Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 494, recorded on September 5th, 2024. On this week's episode, we have more Nintendo news than you think. We talk about Pauline, Zelda, Mario and Luigi, Deep Cut, the Squid Sisters, and Off the Hook. We even talk about your mom. Jesse, you know what to do.
You better not talk about my mom. You can talk about your mom all you want.
I talk about her all the time.
I'm sure you do. Anyway, apparently we're talking about moms tonight on Nintendo Dads. It's episode 494, September the 5th, 2024. And we are coming at you with all the Nintendo news and that you can stand that we could shake together this week. Because until they say anything about Switch 2, guys, it's like the wasteland out there. We're just, we're just
not
driving around.
Not according to the things you put in this week's
Well,
update.
I know, but we're just like, this week's been a big deal, but
you're a big deal.
No,
You're a big
I'm
deal.
not. Thank you for trying to make me feel that way. Joining me on the show tonight is our usual cast of characters, minus Justin, because Justin's life is just super stinking busy. And by the way, Justin, if you're out there listening, congratulations, Justin Massett, on a brand new job started this week. He's moving on up in the world, folks. He's becoming the beautiful butterfly that we always knew that he would be.
He's growing up so fast.
Yeah, I know. So beautiful. Speaking of beautiful,
so he's played HR for us. So this is like real HR now.
yeah. Now he's going to come in here and he's going to try to pull his real HR tricks on us, and we're going to be like, yeah, no.
We're going to start getting
beautiful,
assigned. We're going to start getting assigned courses to have to take for.
I'm not doing it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I've got enough classwork to do.
Yeah,
right
my wife and I both finished our e-learnings for the year. I had 4 to do that I did on my day off on Monday, just to knock them out. My wife worked, and she had 17 to do. She did them on Monday, and then after she got them all done, her brain is mush. Afterwards, she found out that she did take the day off of work, so she worked her day off and got her training done. But
Dang. Well, speaking of brains that are mush, Jesse Waldack over on the board. How you doing, buddy?
pretty good. Yeah, things are. My brain kind of did get mushy this week, is because I've got 2 camping events in back-to-back weekends. So from my schoolwork, I worked ahead a bit. So, we have lab 1 and homework 1 due tomorrow. Lab 2 and homework 2 is due the following week. I've turned in week 1 work. I've turned in week 2 work. And then I'm almost done with lab 3, and I am finished with homework 3, but haven't turned that in yet. So I'm like 2 weeks ahead of the class. But yeah, and since everything's wants to be turned in digitally, I could handwrite my answers like a normal person, and then take pictures of it and submit it, or I squeezed everything into a Word doc, including all those formulas and equations, and that formatting is kind of a disaster sometimes, but I was able to figure out a way to do it right, so it looks nice. But that took more work than it should have.
Speaking of more work than it should have, Tim Off. How you doing, buddy?
I love these transitions. They're great. I'm doing good.
I'm showing them listening.
I am doing great. Work's been busy as usual, with the changes that I had in the recent months in my position. So not a new position like Justin, but just some changes. And it's been good busy though. So it keeps me busy. I feel like I'm contributing more and all that kind of stuff. So I feel good about myself.
Nice. Nice. Good deal. Well,
How about you, Marty? You doing all right? I know you said you had a rough week
yeah,
with
it's
the
been a
pre-show,
week. It's
but
been a week between. I won't go into too much detail, but you guys know I don't want to hold up the show. My wife's back's been out. I had an uncle pass away. My in-laws left on an overseas trip, and because my wife's back was out, we didn't get to drive them to the airport, so I had to go get their car. Uh, it's been a week. It's
I meant to
a
ask you,
week
was Bucky's at least on the
unexpected.
way?
No, there's no
Oh, darn it.
Bucky's. Bucky's in Tennessee is further past Nashville. So
Okay.
until they finish the Bucky's here in West Tennessee, which will also be kind of out of the way for me, which is weird. Like I literally since last week played zero video games until today, and it's just been
Welcome to
like
the club.
been
Welcome to the
it's
one
been a
game club.
constant, constant like, okay, now I got to do this. 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 So yeah, fun times, fun times. Well, guys, with that, let's dive into the news, shall we? Our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you get to join up with the greatest community on the internet and be a part of something awesome. That's right. Awesome. Like a double rainbow or a jelly-filled donut from Krispy Kreme, or a ice cold Coca-Cola on a hot day.
Or a
That's
pair of Pokemon Crocs.
Yeah, they're when it's listen, as soon as those release, I'm buying them, but I'm not buying any of the ones they got right now. I'm sorry. I said
No,
I would do
no,
one
you
of the
gotta wait. You gotta
limited
wait for the
limited
limited edition one.
edition ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, we reached a goal of 10 new patrons. They've stuck around. That's a good thing. We really love all our patrons over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. We appreciate you. We're thankful for you. And hey, becoming a Patreon member or patron of the show, a friend of the show, it doesn't just like keep the lights on over here. You get benefits from it too. If you just for $1, listen to this. Just for $1, you get access to our Discord. You get an ad-free podcast feed. You get access to the dinner table, which is every third Friday of the month at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is just a therapy show, right? It's a gathering of friends where we just meet and we talk and we have a good time. Some people play games, some people watch sports ball, some people sometimes get into some deep stuff. So we don't record that. It's just a hangout, meetup, monthly thing, and random prizes and giveaways, including. Hey, we're giving something away this month. Have we mentioned this?
Did
Yes.
we?
Yes. So, Tim,
Yes.
help me remember, what are the details on this giveaway? Because we are giving away one of the limited edition Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom Nintendo Switch Lights.
Yes. We are giving that away, and right now, off the top of my head, I don't remember the details. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Did
I
we write
believe
that
it's. I
down?
believe it. I don't remember, but I had hoped that you would. But yes, someone in the chat said, "What?" Yes, we are giving one of these away to one of our patrons. I remember this now. All you have to do is be a patron by the date of release of that system. We're going to randomly draw a number, and you are going to get a Nintendo Switch Lite. That is if you sign up for at the $1 level, the $5 level, the $10 level, or the $30 level. We already have this. There is a pre-order. It is in my Best Buy app. It is locked in. We are getting the system. We are giving it away. Why? Because we love you. Because we love you, and you're worth it.
Yes.
So all of that in Patreon for just $1. However, $5 gets you the whole Discord slate of subchannels. $10 gets you pre and post show audio, and $30 gets you on the show and listed as a Patreon producer. And we thank each and every one of you for being a Patreon subscriber, Patreon producer, Patreon friend, whatever. We tried a few years ago to come up with a catchy name for it, and we never did come up. We never did think of anything. It's just weird. Like, we can't really call, like, somebody suggested we could call our patrons children, and I was
I think
like,
that was my
no,
idea.
that's creepy. Goombas, that's demeaning. You know, and at the time, Nintendo Shack, they say, "What's up, Koopa Troopas?" And or "Hey, Koopa Troopas." We just don't want to steal any other things. Beer asks in the chat, "Are Twitch subscribers eligible?" And yes, you are. If you have a Amazon Prime membership, that means you have a Twitch Prime subscription that's free every month. You just have to re-up it. If you throw that our way over on Twitch, you will also be entered in the contest to win the Nintendo Switch Lite. Yes. All right. So patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. Get your butts over there right now and do something sweet. And hey, if you pay for the year, we give you a month free because Tim says so.
Yes.
That's the bottom line because Tim Off says so.
What?
We should make that shirt. That's it right there. All right, Jesse, write this down. Write this down. Tim, write this down. We need a Tim 316 shirt.
We already have a Business Justin 316 shirt.
Oh, he doesn't need that. We'll do another Business Justin shirt.
It was Business Justin says type thing.
That's the business time. Because Business Justin
says so. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll get you something. What we need to do is we need some art. If you're out there and you are a fan of the show, you're a listener, and you can draw good, we need. Stone Cold used to have a smoking skull shirt, like vest, where they had like a skull with smoke coming out of its eyes. If you could do that with Tim, like if it could have like a skull with a hat and a goatee with smoke coming out of its eyes, we're making that shirt and we'll credit you.
Yes.
We would love
awesome.
that. Anyway, let's do it.
I would buy
let's
that
dive into.
right
Speaking
away.
of doing it, let's dive into the news, shall we? Lots of game updates this week that for games that are already out and games that are coming up that we wanted you to know about. Super Mario Party Jamboree got revealed this week that Pauline is coming to the series for the first time as a playable character. Pauline and Ninja will be playable characters. Of course, this is out on October 17th. It looks really good, y'all. Like were you a fan of Super Mario Party for Switch?
Yes.
I actually liked it better than the other Mario Party. Mario Party Superstars, was that it?
I think so. I
like that one better.
Yeah, I'm actually confused by the two, so I can't remember the difference between the two. I didn't play it enough, but I was disappointed in both because I didn't get more. Like I was expecting them to drop DLC when they announced the first one. They didn't. And then when they brought out the new game, I was expecting maybe DLC for that one. No, they didn't. So but they're both good games, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that the previous one, Super Mario Party, the first one that came out was a little more playable for kids. And I mean, just the old one, like some of those boards and things, just did not seemed a little unfair. I had that old Mario Party cheapness.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I'm
looking forward to January.
I liked it better
online with it. So
yes, and that is there's a Bowser like battle royale type mode that I think is going to be really good, and I'm excited for this. So October 17th, you'll be able to play Pauline and Ninja there. Also revealed this week, Nintendo showed off Echoes of Wisdom, some new stuff from that, the Still World, and Zelda's Swordfighter form, which the Still World is the name of the like purplish weird place that Link gets sucked into. So obviously I think that there's going to be some things going on there. They said there will be some dungeons that are in the Still World, or maybe all of them are in the Still World. And to me, that like the way it looked at is like you've got these rips in the map where you can see into that.
Yeah.
I wonder if like part of the story is restoring those rips so that you're able to like go, new places.
Do you think it has anything to do with the any connection to the underground stuff that was in Tears of the Kingdom?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I really hope not. I'm going to put my stake in the ground and definitively say that I hated the underground in Tears of the Kingdom.
That's fair.
Like I spend all my time when I'm down there shooting arrows. That's stupid.
Okay.
Like your feature of this entire gigantic map is it's all dark. Great job.
Well, it
Whoever
helps
thought
graphically.
whoever thought that was a good idea, dumb. Fire them. Anyway,
One big
uh,
giant dungeon.
yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, the Swordfighter form though is what I'm more interested in. Is that Zelda can transform into this form for a limited time,
Yeah.
and it has an energy meter. And so
Yes.
after a certain period of time, she will transform back, and she will have to like wait for it to regenerate, or get items that will cause that to go back up. And makes me wonder how that's going to work.
I found it interesting because if you think about it, when somebody like Link or any character in these type of games is usually a sword fighter, their magic is usually the thing that has the meter, right?
Hmm.
But for Zelda, it's the opposite. Her using a
Yeah,
weapon is metered. So
right.
Yeah, I
I
didn't even
thought
think of that, but that
I
makes sense.
I thought that was interesting take on that. Interesting and cool, different. That's what I'm liking about this whole thing. Is it's definitely different way of playing a Legend of Zelda game. I'm going to be playing it because I want to see how it feeds into everything else, even
Yeah.
if it does, because I know we're going to be talking about it soon about the timelines and stuff. But like, does any of this feed into it? Because this wasn't on that timeline thing they showed at the Australian Nintendo event.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because we were going to loop around to that. But Nintendo also now has a new Zelda timeline that lists Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as standalone. Like they have their own timeline, which I, at first, I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. But the more I thought about it this week, the more I like that.
Yeah, because I think we said it 8 years ago or 7 years ago when Breath of the Wild came out, but there's just so many inconsistencies.
Yeah,
Like, okay, well, in the Wind Waker, the the Zora became the bird people. I don't remember the names.
Rito.
Uh, yeah, the Rito. So how can they both exist? so,
Yeah,
so, so being put
I'm
into its
glad that
own
they're
multiverse.
I'm kind of glad that they did that because they're it kind of felt like when it was just Breath of the Wild that they were trying to shoehorn it in, right? Like, oh, it's the
Yeah,
ending of the timeline, but well, how? More of the story
yes,
got
it's the
revealed
ending of
between
all
both
the
games.
timelines.
Yeah, yeah. So lots of
I,
Zelda news. Also
well,
wanted to
before
mention, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say with the timeline thing, I think it's not in the timeline because the story's not done.
So you
Yeah.
think there's going to be a third one?
Maybe not directly a trilogy, but I whatever game they're working on now may also,
Well,
go
yeah,
with the same timeline.
the Hyrule origin that they gave in Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much retcons Skyward Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes sense that these are in separate multiverses.
I do
Yeah.
think that I remember Alnuma
Okay.
saying though that like the reason that there was no DLC for Tears of the Kingdom is they've squeezed everything they can out of that map, out of that world.
Right. Yeah,
So
I'm
it'll
not
be
saying it's
interesting to
going to.
see how they can make something else in that timeline. You know what I'm saying? Like in that
Yeah.
timeline.
Well, and just like we've seen in any of the timelines, the world's going to change, so it can be a whole new game and a whole new map and
Right.
all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But I think it still can tie. There's, I think there's still more to it that we don't know yet, and that's why they haven't plugged it into the timeline or placed it at the end wherever, like they were speculating, people were speculating. And great. If it is a third line, then great, you know. So,
Mhm.
but I think eventually it'll get figured out, I think, by
Yeah.
Nintendo. And maybe not. Maybe I'm just trying to plug it in because I want it plugged in, but so, but I
They'll do
think
it
I
for you,
just would
Tim.
think there might be more.
They'll do it for you.
Thanks. Thanks, Nintendo. You're so
Yeah,
nice.
Al Newman's listening right now, and he's like, "Oh, I will do that for Tim. I like Tim."
Perfect. I love it when the stuff ties together.
Yeah,
So
it does. It is better when it ties together, I think. Also mentioned here, I didn't want to forget this, that this video of Echoes of Wisdom also made mention that there are going to be uh other characters that are going to help Zelda along her way, including that was revealed was Dompe, who is in Breath of the Wild, right? We've seen him before. Dompe creates automations that are automatons that Zelda can use.
Automatons.
Like she winds them up, and they have a variety of different uses. I think that that's pretty cool. So they can break from taking too much damage though. So the more I hear about this game, the more excited I get about it. I am ready for it to be out. I'm ready. Let's
same.
go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yep. I'm gonna have to clear some stuff out so that we do that. And that is out this month, right?
Yes, end of the month,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
23rd.
The last Thursday of the month.
No, the 26th. Yeah.
Yep, 26. Okay.
Ms. says, I like to think there is no timeline. Every game is like a story being told by a different person and they add their own stuff to it.
Yeah. I think I like that. You know, because you have Zelda and Zelda 2, and those were a contiguous story, right? Like a continuous story. But then
Mhm.
Zelda 3, it kind of like Link to the Past feels like its own thing.
Yes.
Ocarina of Time feels like its own thing. Of course, you had Majora's Mask with it. Uh, Sometimes with games like these, if adding too much, like trying to make them all fit together, takes away from how special they are. And it also restricts creativity.
Yep.
I still think would love to see like the Legend of Zelda as a series step out of that, like the Hyrule setting, like that it has to be at that time, and play with some other things like Final Fantasy has done, like steampunk
Yeah.
technology, different things like that.
Yeah,
How
because I
cool
want to I want
how
to see
cool would
what's
Zelda in
beyond those
space?
clouds. What's beyond those clouds on the map?
Well, that's obviously giant starships and advanced
'Cause
alien civilizations.
like when I was watching Andros play it, he was trying to fly across the map of Hyrule using whatever means necessary to just go across the map, flying across. And when he was doing that, I noticed just how much of Hyrule beyond the borders is just all cloud covered. It's like this is a planet that what else is on it? You
The
know, there's more to Zelda there. It's like
it's
can't they
it's
travel?
it's the Smash universe.
There you go.
If he
Yeah.
flies out too far, he'll be on planet Popstar. And then if he gets too far through that, he's in the Mushroom Kingdom. We've already seen that with Galaxy. We're already
Yes.
establishing a shared space continuum.
Wouldn't that be cool that
God,
it's Nintendo World Planet?
Mario Odyssey 2, Mario shows up in Hyrule and captures like a moblin with Cappy. They never mind.
And Samus
Listen,
Samus is called by
we
Beeper, right?
we
Just
will be off in our own little Nintendo fueled
Now that's a different
daydream.
Brie Larson.
see, I was
Let's
wondering if
talk
someone was
about
gonna get that.
let's talk about a couple other games here. Nintendo also released details this week about the World of Mario and Luigi Brothership. I am so stinking excited about this game. Takes place in a new world called Concordia. You can use or explore using Ship Shape Island as a boat where the mysterious Connect All tree grows.
Yeah,
Uh,
the tweet that talked about Concordia came the day after a game with a similar name got canceled. So that was kind of funny.
it's Nintendo canceled Concord. You heard it here first. Uh, right?
Right.
There's a number of drifting islands to explore. This kind of sounds a little like Wind Waker, which is fine because Wind Waker is awesome. New combination attacks that the duo can perform while collaborating. By collaborating while using their signature hammer and jump attacks, there's going to be brand new brothers attacks. This game is out November 7th, 2024. If you want to go watch the trailer for that, it's out there as well. Music sounds grand. The animation looks wonderful. Y'all, this one of the best looking Switch games, period, that's out there. Looks absolutely insanely gorgeous. I love
I'm
the
still
Mario
more
Luigi.
excited for this game than I am for Zelda.
I've been on this RPG kick lately. So I'm excited. I finished Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm working on 4. And plowing right through there. I'm thinking like, what else, what else can I find?
We have Dragon Quest 3 coming out soon.
Yeah, that's
November.
on my list too. I can't wait. It's going to be good. The Grand Festival Splatfest is coming. This is going to be next weekend. And Nintendo released details about this week. We're now at 2 years since the release of Splatoon 2 or 3. I'm sorry. Nintendo promised when Splatoon 3 released, there would be 2 years of updates. There'd be 2 years of Splatfest.
And I think that's been a consistent length for all the 3 games, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think so. So. So I really feel like, especially because of the theme of this and the way they're presenting it and the way they're hyping it up, this is the last official Splatfest.
And then whoever wins this is going to have some sort of impact on Splatoon 4.
Oh, well, and yes, and there is definitely going to be a Splatoon 4. So, beginning September 13th, there will be 72 full hours of festivities and music. Until that time, you can vote on the question, what is most important to you, the past, the present, or the future? There will be performances by all 3 groups from the Splatoon series, so that's Deep Cut, the Squid Sisters, and Off the Hook. During part 1 of the Splatfest, the 3 groups will rotate between 3 stages, and part 2, together, they will perform a special performance of their newest single, 3 Wishes. During those performances, players can use the directional buttons to express themselves, and 4 versus 2 tricolor battles will be available from the very start, including every tricolor battle stage in rotation. And that does include, there's one called the Scorch Bowl or something like that was only used one time during the Zelda themed Splatfest, and that is coming back as well. The final 24 hours will see the rollout of an exclusive tricolor battle stage called the Grand Splatlands Bowl. So they're pulling out all the stops for this. Ahead of the Grand Festival, Grizzco is also in need of new employees because Salmonids are invading the Grand Splatlands Bowl from the 7th to the 9th. So that would be this weekend. You can get fish scale rewards that will be given out to everyone if players can collect a whopping 700 million golden eggs worldwide during the event. 700 million golden eggs.
Starting to do like Pokemon Go like events where everyone...
yeah. Imagine you get to like 699 million. And that's it.
That's so sad.
Everyone who ranks, if you rank ruler or higher in the Splatfest, you'll be able to take pictures with any of the 3 groups on a giant clam stage. And on top of what was just stated, players owning Splatoon 3 expansion pass, and that title can also get Squid Sisters and Off the Hook poses. A brand new pose will be unlocked for players who reach the title above ruler. And additionally, the scaffolds for staff in front of the Great Clam stage are rumored to be a vantage point for photos. There are also, as of today, brand new Squid Sisters and Off the Hook amiibo that you can use to get the special gear as well as their abilities. And Tim bought them. They have... Yeah. Wait, are those not the old Squid Sisters?
No, these are new models. I ordered them as well, but mine haven't come in yet. They'll come in tomorrow.
Yeah, these are the new models of them.
Oh, okay. So they're new molds. They're new molds for the festival. Okay, so you can get those to get special gear as well as take photos with them when scanning the amiibo. So lots of Splatoon stuff. Probably the end of Splatfest. So if you're a Splatfest fan, you definitely want to plan some time set aside this weekend and next weekend to play Splatoon 3. This weekend, the Salmonid Horde Rush mode, I forget what that's called. Sorry. I deleted Splatoon 3 off my Switch. And then
I never owned it, so we're
Splatfest next weekend. I may download it again just to participate.
You need to download it again for Dad Night.
You know what? You know what will happen? I will download it again and I'll play 5 minutes and get so freaking frustrated at it. I'm gonna throw my Switch through the wall. And
Yeah,
then
don't do that.
I'm done. I'm
Don't
not.
do that.
I'm terrible at Splatoon. I just suck
I
at
got
it.
it.
I can't do it. So that's our game news, except for some releases we're going to talk about here. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go and talk about these releases, and then we'll hit this last topic because I feel like we might hang out there for a minute. Other release updates out now. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. If you're hearing this in the audio version, that drops September 6th. Next week, coming out soon, just a few games that we wanted to throw out there that we think you need to look out for. Uno Legacy Edition, because who doesn't like playing Uno, right? This has some
Gotta have it.
different types of Uno games in it. Yars Rising, which is a new Metroidvania set in the Yars universe, is out on September 10th. Crossy Road Castle is out on September 11th. Jackbox Naughty Pack is out on September 12th.
That's
Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is out on September 23rd with a demo in the eShop right now. And then out later, a couple games that we want to throw out there that you need to keep your eye on. Transformers Galactic Trials, which is a cross between a racing game and a first-person shooter, hero
I'm excited
shooter.
for this one.
It does look pretty good.
two of my favorite genres.
Yes,
Wow.
Jesse's gonna be all over this one.
Well, listen, Jesse. Okay, the last two Transformers games that have come out have been a mediocre 3D platformer beat 'em up and a tactical shooter. Hopefully you played that one. Hopefully you played the tactical,
Which one was that?
That was the one for Cyberverse. You commanded the Autobots and moved them around the map and took out, it was basically Fire Emblem with Transformers.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't play that either.
Well, I think you would like it. But anyway, because you could transform them and they did different things. So your tactics.
The last Transformers game I tried to play was Devastation.
Oh, this is not that. No. This one looks kind of good, but it also looks like a third-party budgetware.
And I couldn't beat the tutorial level.
That's what I'm afraid of.
We'll see. Also, Neva. I'm not sure. Never. Never. That's
they made the same company who did Gree.
Yeah. So that means it's going to be good because Gree.
The other title that people don't know how to pronounce.
Grease. Never.
Never.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'm having too much fun with that. So, guys, I wanted to get your opinion on something. This is not necessarily Nintendo, but I think it's news. It affects Nintendo. The game is on Nintendo. This week, we got the very first teaser trailer for a Minecraft movie.
Yes, we did.
That's the name of the movie. I'm not just saying a Minecraft movie is coming. It's literally called a Minecraft movie, starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa. In some weird fever dream mix of live action and what appears to be someone trying to create Minecraft in an AI generator. Full disclosure before we say anything, I love it. It's like a car wreck that I can't look away from. It's wonderful. It's Jack Black. Jack Black is going to sing a song about Minecraft, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to love it. What are your thoughts? Did you watch the trailer, and what did you think?
Yes.
I did not see the trailer, but I saw Arlo's reaction to it. So I've seen some of the images from the trailer over his commentary. And when I heard that there was a Minecraft movie with Jack Black as Steve, I expected something animated, and he is supplying the voice. I wasn't expect him to provide his entire body.
Yeah, that's what I was
going to be good.
That's why it threw me off too, is I was expecting this to be an animated movie and there's live action. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out for sure.
Question from the chat. Michael Burgett asks, based on the trailer, which film do you think will be the better Jack Black video game film? Borderlands or Minecraft? And I don't even have to go see Borderlands to tell
Was
you.
Jack Black in Borderlands? I didn't see the movie, so I didn't
He's
know.
Claptrap.
Oh, see, actual voice.
Yes. I don't
Voice
even have
acting.
to watch Borderlands to tell you it's Minecraft by a country mile.
Yep, the trailer alone, I need more information. I'm not a Minecraft fan, so
Oh,
I've played it. I played it with my kids. They're probably the ones who are going to want to see this, just like
yeah.
the
Yeah. I saw a lot of moaning and groaning about this online. And I want to say that most of the people that I saw the moaning and groaning from, it's not for you.
yeah.
This movie is not for you. It is for that generation of kids who are now like 16, 17, who grew up on Minecraft and memes.
Yep.
And so chances are, if you're 30 or 40, you're not really going to get it. And
You're
that's
just gonna
okay.
take them and have a good time.
You're going to
they're
take
having a
them,
good time.
take your kids and have a good time and stop
Yes.
complaining and laugh. Just stop taking yourself so seriously. Everything, like, I get so frustrated that everything has to have a bad take, or you've got all these people. I'm like, hot take. You know, nobody cares about hot takes anymore. You know what I'd really like now? I'd like some cold takes.
There's
I would
only
just-
one person. There's only one group that can do hot takes, and that's Mega Dads.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that can do it. Although, did you hear their latest hot take?
I
Thought
did
I had
not.
a button, but I must have moved it.
Yeah. it
Go
was
ahead and tell
funny.
us, Tim. What
Mega
is it?
Dads was saying,
Sum
I
it up.
teased him. I teased him on this one.
Hot take!
He called out podcasters or groups or people who have a Patreon page who also have ads.
Oh, well. Guilty as charged.
And I explained to him, I said, well, there's another thing you can add to the list of things that bug you from the Nintendo dads, because we have a Patreon page, but we give Patreons free, ad-free,
Yeah,
content.
Yeah. That's right.
And then everywhere else has the ads.
We're not like a podcast that my wife listens to, that she's actually a patron of, where now they've moved to, they record a new podcast every week, but if you don't pay to be a Patreon member, you only get 3 podcasts a month instead of 4.
Okay.
That
Well, they have one episode a month that's not on the public feed.
one episode a month that is Patreon users only.
Interesting.
Well, it's a good
I
way
don't
to
like
mix it
that.
up, I guess.
I don't like it. No, sir. And also they upped their their basic Patreon price. She was paying $7 a month. Now they're asking 12.
Oof.
Yep.
See, that's a little bit more than the 30%
Yeah.
iOS fee.
Well, they didn't do that because of the iOS fee. In fact, because they're doing what we're doing and telling people, if you're on iOS, do not become a patron of the show via the app. Do it online, or do it on an Android device, and then it'll be the same price every month. The reason they're doing it is they're like, yeah, our ad revenue went down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to say who they are. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I just don't, to me, it's
a different way. I mean,
it is a different way. It's just, but I mean, here's the difference between them and us, is that they do that for a living, and we don't.
So that explains it right
like
there.
Our ads, the ads you hear on the show and the Patreon that you support us with, all it really does is help us not go broke by buying Nintendo stuff. And it does
allows
things
us
like,
to do the prizes.
and it does things like get prizes for you, or
Yes.
fund monthly mayhem when that was happening, and stuff, or and I different things, like go to New York and do a dad's meetup, and send Justin to what did he go to, Nintendo Live?
Yeah, Nintendo Live in
PAX
2023.
last year.
And look, we were gonna go send Jesse to E3, and then he had to go kill it, and
I didn't kill it.
Well, no, Jeff Keighley did.
They heard about you at the last time you were there. They were like, "Oh, we can't have Jesse here again.
Maybe
We need
what
to
we
shut it
should do.
down."
You know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should go to the Game Awards. We should go to
Okay.
the Game Awards and we should be rowdy in the crowd. I'm the gears are turning. I like it. Anyway,
And
I
then
think
he'll never invite us back.
that's right. That's right. Here's the deal. Minecraft movie, whether we like it or not, is going to make $1 billion. It is. Minecraft's such a juggernaut IP right now that and has been for years. Y'all, can you imagine? Like this would be like dressing Jack Black up like Ash Ketchum and making all the Pokemon that CGI. Kids would still go see it. All Pikachu does is scream at the top of his lungs. Bah! You know, it makes $1 billion because it's Pokemon, it's Minecraft, it's Mario. You know, but also I'll watch Jack Black in anything that he's in. Anything. There's two guys in this world, two celebrities. I don't know who many celebrities are. Like if you do like a celebrity roulette and showed me all these pictures, I probably couldn't tell you any of them. But there's two celebrities that it's on my bucket list. I would like to hang out with them. One of them is Jack Black, and the other is Chris Pratt. Preferably at the same time, I think would be fantastic. But anyway, I did not see Jack Black in Borderlands. I'm waiting for that one to come home so I can watch it for free on some streaming service.
And Michael also said not a good way to mix things up in regards to the podcast thing we talked about.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand your opinion is it's not a good way to do it, but the reason why I was saying it's a good way to mix things up, somebody's got to do it, right? Especially if they're using it for a way to make a living, they got to figure things out. So I don't feel like I should. I don't feel like I can knock it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to pay for it.
They have employees to pay and things to do. I get it.
If you don't like it, you don't pay for it, obviously.
Absolutely.
So don't do it. But what I'm not going to do is knock it because somebody's trying to make a living off of it or figure out a different way to make money to do what they do. So
good point. Good point, Tim. That's good stuff. Well, that's our news for the week. Let's stop right here for an ad break from our good friends over at Manscaped.
All right, guys. It's the best time of the year. Football's back. We're talking NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and that glorious grind of fantasy football lineups. This is where your energy M, it almost sounds like energy M. Energy M comes alive, setting the perfect fantasy roster, screaming at your TV, and making last-minute waiver moves that either make you a hero or the guy everyone ridicules in the group chat. But listen, while you're over here making sure your fantasy team is dialed in, don't let your personal grooming become the guy that gets left on the bench. Let's be honest, nobody wants to fumble their grooming routine. That's where Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra comes in, acting as your all-in-one grooming playbook. From keeping things sharp down below with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra to taking care of those rogue nose and ear hairs with the Weed Whacker 2.0. This is the lineup that'll keep you looking and feeling like a champ on and off the field. Join over 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff for heading over to the manscaped.com using code NINDADS for 20% off plus free shipping. Again, that's NINDADS, NINDADS for 20% off and free shipping. And trust me, you'll be drafting the real MVP of grooming this season.
All right, guys, it's time for our question of the week. And if you've been in or around any video game news site this week, you know that the Switch 2 rumors have kicked up again, this time led by Chris Dring, who is a pretty reliable leaker / rumor person, news person, who says that something Switch 2 related will happen this month. Also, Nate the Hate, who is a pretty reputable, person, leaker, whatever, says that Switch 2 is confirmed to have backwards compatibility. Also, analyst David Gibson expects a September reveal and a March release for Switch 2. So maybe, obviously, something kind of could appear through the ethereal mist this month, and we would see something there from Nintendo. But I thought I would ask us this question on as we prepare. All right. And here it is. The Nintendo Ninja Fairy wakes you up one night and with a sprinkle of magic dust grants you the ability to make sure that one and only one thing is included in the Switch 2. This can be a hardware feature, a software feature, something related to the presentation, the UI, whatever. What is your wish? So, in other words, what we asked was a guaranteed this is going to be in. You get to make that decision. So here are what our community said. Tons of people. This question got the people excited. All right.
Yeah.
Here's some
unlike
answers.
Previous questions.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't come up with good ones. It's a swing and a miss. And it's not just a swing and a miss where everybody goes, "Aw." It's a swing and a miss where I spin around and fall down into some mud and people laugh and they're like, yeah, it's like that. Mecca says, avoiding the cop-out answer of keeping the Switch hybrid, I'll say one that not many people might say. I would love for the next Switch to keep a retro game tier like Switch Online in the current Switch, albeit maybe edited a bit so we can buy them a la Virtual Console as an option. So in other words, Mecca wants us to spend money again on the games we've already bought 12 or 13 times.
Yep.
You get an F. You fail. No, I'm just kidding. That's a good idea, because if you don't want to keep Switch Online, you can have the games.
Right, because, say, if you look at PS Plus, they have the two or three free games every month, but you only get them as long as you continue to subscribe. Yeah. If you no longer subscribe, you lose access to the games until you re-up. So NSO is the same way. You drop your NSO, you lose access to all the games.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Having the ability to buy them a la carte is not a bad idea. Not many people may do it, but still, it might be a few $100 revenue every month extra that you wouldn't ordinarily have.
It would be good if there was a discount if you're already online on the Switch Online. Like, hey, if you're not an online member, this is $5. If you are, it's $3.50. Kind of like when you upgraded from the Wii Virtual Console to the Wii U Virtual Console. Kind of like how I spent hundreds of dollars on the Wii U Virtual Console, making sure all my games were upgraded right before the Switch came out because I was sure that it was going to all transfer over. Yeah, sometimes you make really dumb decisions. Anyway, my Wii U is stacked though. I've got everything. Zablanc says,
yeah, I have everything on an external hard drive that I hope is still good.
Yes, I do boot it up about every 2 weeks just to be sure that it still comes on. Zablanc says, permanently connected Joy-Cons. Yes. He says, well, as long as they don't have drift. Nothing feels as good as the Switch Lite with the whole system in one piece. No wiggle, no squeaking. I want that on a full-size Switch 2 with a full-size screen. Here. I love it. I think that's a great idea. Simon Hawkins says, I think of a return to Street Pass. I used to love seeing that little flashing light on the 3DS. Hambo Johnny says an eShop, not from the Stone Age, would be fantastic. Yes. Jesus Amada says, if I get one wish granted, I want the successor to Switch to bring back Street Pass. At least Spot Pass. Let us connect to each other again by passing each other in the street. That would be fantastic. Have a great show. Chris HL94 says, I think everyone knows me well enough to know that I would want NHL 94 Rewind as a subscription service where we have roster updates to the current NHL, the ability to play online versus friends, the ability to set up and keep stats for an online tourney or an online league with friends like on NHL online.com. And Rizzle29 says, I second Chris HL94. Guys, we stop. No, that's fine. If you want another subscription service, that's fine. I told you the Nintendo Ninja Fairy can do whatever you want. So there you go. Yeah. Quinn the Wicked, who is Jacqueline Amira, one of our Patreon producers, she says, I want the old Nintendo store back that was shut down in 2019. Amen. I love it. Jason Frost, Frosticles 43 says, a more fun UI, bring back something quirky like Miiverse and a decent means of voice chat. Just being Bruce says Switchverse as in a reply to that. Solo says, since it sounds like PS4 graphics are coming, ability to have a linked app for photo captures that does not require scanning a QR code, and ability to change the background of the Switch to our personal picture taste.
Yes.
Yeah, like link it in with threads like you used to do for Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Lunchbox, aka the disgruntled gamer, says, for the love of God, can we get a new Star Fox game already? Please. Please. Darth Platypus says a new Street Pass. And Spider Shan says, honestly, more than anything else, I'd like to guarantee backwards compatibility. I still have a ton of games I want to play and plenty more to discover. Playing them with a possible boost in power sounds pretty good to me. Nintendo also adds the Nintendo Ninja Fairy can leave me a Metroid Prime trilogy under my pillow. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about this, guys. What would you do? The Nintendo Ninja Fairy shows up, sprinkles some magic. You know, when I was thinking magic dust, I was thinking of like that potion that you have to get, you know, or the magic dust you have to get in Link to the Past, where the witch grinds up the mushroom that you find. That's what I was thinking of.
Nice.
So, what's your wish?
All right, mine is something I've said in the past, that for increased storage, I want to see them use NVMe instead of micro SD. Yeah, higher capacity and a faster bus, and yeah, it's more of a heat generator, but you know that's what fans are for.
Okay,
Nice.
Tim, what about you?
Oh my gosh, my brain is all over the place. I love every single one of these ideas. And if I could wish the fairy to make all of these wishes come true, I would.
That cannot be your one.
That
I'm
would be my
sorry.
one. All of these wishes come true, and then I get
No,
everything. Well, why
that's a
not?
cop out.
No.
That's
All
why.
right, fine.
You didn't do your homework. That's why.
Yes, that is correct. I did not know what to do with this one for some reason. Because
Okay,
it's like
no, I get it.
it's like all of these, it's like I was like this idea. Oh wait, somebody already said it. This one. You know, Street
Well,
Pass. I
even if
said
somebody-
before.
Even if somebody already said it, if that's your heart's desire, then there you go.
Yeah, Street Pass I think is probably it, but well no, I take that back. I'm gonna one up on Chris's NHL one. I think should be an EA subscription, EA Sports subscription, to where you can get access to all of these classic games. Like they have a specific one for Nintendo where it's EA Sports Classic, but I would say EA Sports Classic Plus, where you get NHL 94, but you're paying a subscription, so you get the roster updates, like he said. You get Madden 94 or whatever. Maybe it's not even 94. It's just you just call it Madden Classic or NHL Classic. And then you get all these you get current rosters, but with the classic graphics, which will work on a Nintendo system. You don't have to do the fancy stuff. You can leave the fancy stuff for the other systems.
Yeah.
And make it maybe they can tie in some way or another. But I think that would be my wish, is an EA Sports Classic thing. Subscription.
So barring Street Pass, which a lot of people said, I think that there's something to be said that so many people are still like, I would like Street Pass, or I would like something like that. I would like Miiverse. Those games on 3DS were pretty awesome. You know, the ability to have your Mii's in there and have all these interesting little concepts that may not have worked as a full, you know, game release, but they work because you're using other people's stuff and you can only play them in bite-sized chunks. I like that.
Yes.
But for me, I would say I think one of the biggest disappointments of Switch, for the Switch over the last 7 to 8 years has been the user interface for me. Um, at this point, it is so broken. Well, and what I mean by that is like I don't like using it. I understand that they said we want to make something snappy and fast, but it's not even really all that snappy and fast anymore. Like the eShop takes forever to load, and when you get there, it's just bucket loads of crap that you have to wade through. Um, I think that the sticking point for me, and I don't know, like I wouldn't go hog wild with it or whatever, but one of the things that people love the most about their personal device, like their phone or their iPad or whatever, is the ability to customize it. Like to have a customized experience when you're looking at the screen. That's why wallpapers are important. Nintendo really missed the boat for a lot of people on themes. We went from a system in your pocket that had hundreds of themes, including icons that changed, music that changed, backgrounds that changed, sound effects that changed too. You get white or black, and that's it for
Woo!
7 years.
Yes.
7 years. And
Almost
to
eight.
me, like, yeah, almost say, like, to me, I just don't think there's any excuse for that. I think it's lazy. I think it's like they probably had a plan for it, and maybe they wouldn't sell. I don't like you said about the retro games. I don't think that they would sell like thousands of dollars a month in it, but I think it's money on the table, right? Like, why can't my Switch background be red? Why can't it be gray? Why can't it, why when games came out and you were trying to promote them, did you not change the background for like, oh, Mario 3D World, Mario Odysseys, Tears of the Kingdom? Like, why was the theme not playing when it booted up? Like there's just all these little personal touches
Yeah, because
that were
I
missing.
remember when Twilight Princess launched on Wii U, the eShop played that
Yes.
Mallow Mart song, and that was awesome.
Yeah. And the most customization we've got this whole generation has been Mario icons and a red color on the side blade of the eShop. So I think that it would endear Switch even more to people for them to be able to be like, look how I customized mine. Like I was able to move folders around. I was able to, and yes, I know we've got groupings, but those still aren't very useful. Like, why in the world did they
It's
never make
clunky.
it where like all of those little like boxes of your games, why can I not shrink those or make them bigger so that more fit on the screen? It's just simple stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that
the first
that
thing I did with the 3DS is turn that into a 3-row
yeah,
view instead of a 1-row
like
view.
just that finding a way to make it more user friendly and make navigating it look good. And I would love to that since it is going to be like the Switch has obviously been an online connected device from day one, and it's meant to, show what your friends are doing and stuff. Why can that not show like in the UI like PlayStation does? Or something like that, like, hey, your friends are playing this, and give live updates and stuff like that. I just think they need to think a little bit more about that. And that would be my wish is that they really took the time to just do like an outstanding UI and that people would go, wow, like, wow. Like something that, especially too, like when you put a cartridge in, that game pops up and it's front and center and there's a big production, like, there's a presentation. Like if you, one of the things I don't know that maybe I'm the only one that did this is I remember when the Wii U had the or the Wii, you'd put the game in and you'd go to that channel and it would have like a little startup animation, Mario's bumping around with the propeller cap and it plays. I was always like, I wonder what this game's going to do when I put it in. So it's just part of the total package. And I think that like
And
if
even the
that's
3DS had a still image but it was in 3D. It
Yeah.
rotated. It
Showed the
looked
capabilities of the
nice.
system. And
Yeah.
so, like, if that's the big, like, to me, if that's the biggest miss of the Switch, then it's been, I mean, like, it's obviously been a resounding success. Like, that's not a make or break thing, but that would be the thing because I just feel like all the other stuff is coming, like the backwards compatibility, the moving over your Nintendo account day one, that kind of thing. I, you know, I don't know. Anyway, great answers, everybody. Seriously, and it leads into what we've already kind of talked about. The Switch 2 rumored to be presented soon. Um, so um, this comes from Chris Dring on Twitter or X, and he says this with industry whispers around something Switch 2 related happening this month. I thought I'd remind everyone of the official list of the greatest consoles of all time. Number one, Nintendo Switch. Number two, everyone else. And so
Wow.
maybe, guys, I don't know. Maybe it may. I just wonder if something Switch 2 related, even this month, could be like, you remember the image of Mario pulling back the curtain? It's like we'll talk about it soon. It may even
Yes.
just be that. Just be like, yep, hey,
Dropped in a tweet. Yeah.
hey, yeah, on a random Thursday night at 8 o'clock, Nintendo's like, Switch 2 news coming in 3 months.
The announcement to the announcement.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's like the teaser trailer for the trailer. And
Yep.
now you even have teaser images for the teaser trailer for the trailer.
So let's speculate for a minute. What do you think the teaser trailer is going to be? You think it's going to be that same lady coming with her updated Switch 2?
It's Karen.
For children
Karen
that
is
are
8
now
years older and sitting on a rooftop in New York playing Super Mario Odyssey 2 with her children
Yes.
and her husband. I don't know. I,
Or maybe
I
it's somebody different and then they bump into Karen. It's showing
maybe
off the
it's
Switch 2.
maybe it's just Nick Offerman in a cabin sitting in front of a fire with a entire bottle of whiskey, drinking it while holding a Switch 2.
That's totally a Nintendo
Nothing
commercial
said.
right there.
Nothing said. He's just holding it and staring at you.
wow.
I don't know. I mean, how do you top that? Like they caught lightning in a bottle with that initial reveal, and the teaser. When they showed it doing its thing, and then the January event. It was really unique. It was really
And
like
everybody talking about it for sure.
it
I
was
wonder, maybe they get the
non
same marketing
Nintendo.
company working on it.
I hope so. Man, that commercial that they dropped with the Believer song,
Yes.
that was gold.
Hmm.
Absolute gold.
Yep.
Wonderful stuff.
It's probably
Wonderful
why
stuff.
my son loves that song so much.
Yeah. How I found that song.
Yes.
Anyway, that's that's our question of the week and some rumors.
I,
Let's take a time
I
out.
I think that song is the only song I played on Beat Saber. And just because I knew it so much.
Such a great
Tim,
tune.
you're the only one with a timeout this week. And I
Yes.
like your timeout. So let's talk about this. What's your timeout?
So I'm excited. I'm a Linkin Park fan. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, when Chester passed away 7 years ago, it was a
Zelda's
very,
hero in a park.
yes. Yes. Linkin Park. There is a t-shirt of that actually. I
No,
saw that
I've seen
Link is
that.
in a park and it says Link in Park. But anyways, Linkin Park, the band, is I've been a big fan of since day one. It's like I have a story about that too. One day we can talk about it if we ever talk music. But anyways, since that day of buying that first album, uh I've been a fan and one of my favorite bands of all time. And obviously when Chester Benningfield passed away, I was sad. And was wondering if I would ever hear Linkin Park again. But they just announced they had a thing going on for the past couple weeks where they were leading up to an announcement of something on their website. They had a countdown timer going, and that was leading up to today, where they had a live show on YouTube or wherever you wanted to watch it, wherever they linked it at, where they did a live performance with their new singer, Emily Strong, I think is her name.
Armstrong.
Armstrong, Emily Armstrong, yes. So and I watched that live presentation and then watched the new song they released today as well. And I look again, I miss Chester. Nobody can replace him. Uh, but she did a phenomenal job, I think, coming out there. And you could tell she had butterflies to start off, but towards the end, she just knocked it out of the park.
She has amazingly huge shoes to fill.
Yes, she does. And I
Like the
think
expectation, I cannot imagine. Like I would have been in the back throwing up.
right. And who knows
Golly.
if she had to do that too. So, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah. She sounds amazing, by the
yes,
way. I went
she
and listened
does.
to that new song. Like when they announced her, I was like, hey, I wonder if that new song's out. And I went and looked it up on streaming and it was really good.
Yes.
I
She's got
mean, I don't want to
excellent
say like I
vocals.
was shocked, but like you hope it's good because
Yeah.
I'm like you, like I don't know that I'm like wouldn't say I'm a Linkin Park mega fan or anything, but I love their music
Hmm.
and always have. And I I'm just glad they get to continue on.
Yes. Yes, me
And
too. I'm looking forward to seeing what new stuff they come out with. Obviously,
yeah,
they got a new album coming out, so I'm excited
yeah,
for
in
that.
November. And I feel like they would not have continued like like even being Linkin Park if they felt like it wasn't gonna at least live up to, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
why not just name yourself a different band or like formerly of Linkin Park and then we have a new singer. But
Yeah.
this is like we're gonna continue on a legacy here. We're gonna continue I would be interested. Like, can I ask this? Because I didn't watch the live reveal, the concert.
Yeah.
Did they do any of their old songs with her singing?
Yes, they did a
Oh,
really good
cool.
job of showing like they played the new song first and then they went into previous songs. And that's where I think she was going to win or lose people, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, and I was reading the chat too, and there's obviously people making stupid comments. I'm all for your
Again,
opinions, but
nothing can be good on the internet.
right, I'm all about your opinions, but come on, some of those opinions were just like whatever. But anyways, again, she's not here to replace Chester. She's here to help Lincoln Park move on.
No, and I
And
love that they
so,
said that. They were
yeah,
like, this is not trying to replace him.
yes.
This is a tribute to him
Yes.
in a
And they
way.
and
It's
they did songs that showed her vocal abilities and they
that's smart.
were really there were songs that Chester also did really good vocally on. So it was showing that when they do a concert, they're going to be able to play these songs. She's going to be able to sing to those
Yeah.
songs and be on par with Chester. And I think she was on par with him.
Yeah, because I mean there are people that like you're gonna buy a ticket and you're gonna go see Linkin Park.
Yes.
You're gonna want to hear the old stuff.
Yes.
You're gonna want to hear the you're gonna hear crawling. You're gonna want to hear Meteora. You're
Yes.
gonna want to hear stuff like that, and or in the end, what I've done. You're gonna want to hear those songs. So yeah, it's just I still hate that he's you know anyway.
Yeah, his it whenever I know it was hard for like I couldn't imagine how my parents felt like when those singers from their generation passed away. Closest I felt to that was when Kurt Cobain,
Yeah,
died, from
yeah,
Nirvana. So it was like, oh, wow, okay. But he hadn't built up enough time with me to be like hit me as hard as say Chester did or what's his name from Soundgarden? I can't remember his name right now.
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell, yeah, when he passed away too. It was like both them guys, it was like it hit
They're
hard.
they're the only two celebrity deaths that have really bothered me, like affected me. was Robin Williams
Yes.
was one of them.
Yes.
That was devastating. And the other was William Rotunda, who Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
My wife and I, we watched the Bray Wyatt documentary that WWE did,
Yeah, that was a good one.
released a few months ago, and man,
Mhm.
I broke down like, golly.
Yeah, he was
Um,
all of them sure were Michelle says Jim Henson too. And Robin Williams
yeah,
broke her heart when they passed. So
yeah, man, just but like the
oh, and
suddenness
Awada,
of it. Well,
like
yeah, Awada, yeah,
Awada, that
absolutely.
was
I
another
mean,
big
now
one.
I'll just be honest, Miyamoto is going to be that's gonna that's gonna be tough,
Yeah.
but I don't
But
know
she's
why
got to
those.
going back to her, yeah, it's gonna be tough for her to fill those shoes for sure. But I don't think she's trying to fill those shoes. She's
No,
just
no,
trying to
I think she's gonna do good. I do think that it was smart, like in that new song. Like when I was listening to it, I was like, I expected her voice,
hmm
and it was Mike Shinoda.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna lead with him. That's smart. You got a
hmm
little familiarity here, and then she came in. I was like, yes,
Yes.
yeah, that's good. I love a good like female fronted hard rock band. Like,
Yeah.
just like not screaming, but like melodic,
Yep.
showcase the vocals with the guitar and the drums.
Yeah, I thought that's what I got from it too, is her voice is kind of like Chester's, where it was you had a nice clean voice, but when it needed to be gruff, it and you
Mhm.
get, those good hard rock, screams out of it. That's when you got out of it, and she did that. She,
Yeah.
like I said at the beginning of the live event, she was nervous. You could tell. And there was a couple of times in the towards the middle there, she was starting. It sounded like she was starting to lose her voice. She cracked a couple times, but towards the end, she totally knocked it out of the park with a
Live
couple of,
live music is live music. It happens.
yeah, yes,
As
it does.
somebody who is on stage every week, as somebody who sings, as somebody who has sung in the
Unless you're Milli
past in front of
Vanilli.
people, yeah, unless you're Millie Vanilli or Ashley Simpson,
Yeah,
you're gonna have a vocal bad day or two here or there.
yeah.
So yeah, that's our timeout for this week. Go check out that new Linkin Park song if you like them, or if you like that genre of music. I think you won't be disappointed. Let's talk about what we've been playing. So, full disclosure here, I on my on our doc that we look at as we record, mine says nothing. Jesse says a game I can't talk about until next week. Tim is the only one who can talk about what they've been playing this week, and so we're just going to let it be the Tim show for 2 minutes or so here, and then we're going to move on. So here we go. Tim, what have you been playing?
Well, everybody knows I've been playing this. It's SteamWorld Heist 2. I'm still playing it, but it sounds like I'm getting close to the end because in our Discord, John, who was on last week, he said that I'm not far behind him when I said where I was in the game. And he just rolled credits. So I'm getting closer. I've probably spent close to 30 hours in the game, and I'm trying to get it done before next week's game releases, the one that Jesse's playing. uh, plus, so that I can go back to MEO as well, because I have not been playing that at night like I had been, because I've been playing SteamWorld Heist 2 to try to get it done. But I've said this before. I really like this tactics type of game, strategy game. It's 2D, not 3D like some of the other ones. And I like how I can mix up jobs and weapons to change things up for those characters. What I want to do is try to record a video before I get to the end to kind of go over some of the character builds I did, just to share that, and then kind of share where I'm at in the game before I get to the end. So I'm going to try to do that this weekend. And hopefully keep an eye out for that. And again, if you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and then hit that bell so you can see get that notification when that goes out.
Smash that like button and hit that bell.
That's right. Yes. So, but yeah, SteamWorld Heist
All right.
2, it's definitely kept me involved in that game
Yeah.
for a while. So
Okay, so before we move on, I did have a question from Marty about the Final Fantasy games you've been playing.
Sure.
Did you buy it digitally or physically?
I bought it digitally, so they're all
Okay.
downloaded in my
So
Switch.
so you know what happens when you put in a cart is that that game's icon shows up on in the first slot.
Hmm.
Have you ever put in a cartridge that had multiple games in it
Yeah,
before?
there's actually a Hasbro cart that I have of Hasbro Game Night that has Monopoly and
Risk,
Risk and maybe Battleship.
similar third game.
Okay.
Yeah, and it pops all three of them up.
Yeah, so I have the Final Fantasy game on cart, which
Nice.
pushes 6 icons out of my 10 slots
Yep,
whenever the game reboots, if
it
that cart's
sucks.
in it. It
Yeah.
does kind of suck. I wish you didn't have to do that. But
Yeah,
I'm not going to
so
double dip it again just to, it's another $75. I paid $75 on Steam, then I paid I paid $250 with the collector's edition. But,
woo!
The
the
fan right
standalone for
there.
that is still $75. I'm not going to do another $75 just to get it digitally. So I'm
When you
stuck
love a
with
game, you love it, or you love a
multi-icon.
series,
Yeah. Well,
you're going
again,
to spend money.
yeah, like Dragon Quest 3 collector's edition, $200 I put down on that. So,
Yes. Believe me, if there is a Metroid Prime for collector's edition, I'm probably going to get that. If I
Yeah.
could hopefully get it without it getting sold out or anything stupid like that.
Well, Nintendo will make 5 of them. So
They've been doing better. They've
may
been
the
doing better.
odds be ever in your favor.
Yes.
Uh anyway, let's turn on the community spotlight.
All right, this is where we shine a light on our awesome community and we talk about some of the things that we got going on and answer some of the questions that our community asks. So, as mentioned at the top of the show, again, reminder that we have contests like this Zelda Switch Lite giveaway. All you got to do is be a subscriber at Patreon or Twitch to be entered into the drawing by the time that releases. So, and then when that releases, we'll be able to do the drawing and then we'll notify you via email or whisper or however we need to get a hold of you. So, or especially in Discord, probably be the easiest place if you're listening to us and a subscriber, you have access to Discord. So come join us over there so that if you win, we can get a hold of you and let you know. But that's the hardest part. We've had so many times where we had to re-roll a drawing because we can't get a hold of somebody and they're not responding. So, anyways, so
I'm
keep
just
an ear
gonna
out
say
for
it
that.
right here. If we have to re-roll the Switch Lite, I'm taking it.
All right, it's going to re-roll right into Marty's hands.
Yep.
All right. Don't forget about, like I mentioned before, make sure you subscribe and get notifications on any time we do gaming streams so that you are notified of any Let's Plays or first looks or streams. Turn on your notifications, especially when we do Friday night or Saturday night NSOs. Those are usually around the second Friday or Saturday of the month at 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can come play along with us too. So, especially if we play like a Mario Kart game, you come hang out with us in Discord or on the stream and come play with us. So, keep an eye on those things. All right, let's jump right into the questions. We got a few from last week that carried over and a few that were new this week. So, the first one I'm going to ask, because Mecha Dragon has a couple, I'm going to ask his first one first. Are any of you guys part of any video game groups that you meet weekly or often? Like if you're part of a fighting group, for example.
I don't know
nope.
anyone around here my age who plays video games. Except for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the closest that I've ever had was when Dragon Quest IX was still relatively new. I think a local Best Buy, well, it wasn't sponsored by the Best Buy. It was just happened to be the meeting place. But there was a group of people decided to just meet up at that Best Buy to share the grottos was Proto Street Pass. This was a DS game, not a 3DS game, so it had to do all that work itself instead of letting the hardware do it. But it worked well, and I was able to get some good high level grottos, and that helped me, you know, max out my more of the jobs that I played.
Nice.
I don't think
I
I would have been able to do that without it.
I was when the 3DS came out, we actually did a I joined a Facebook group called Michigan Street Pass, and it grew and grew and grew where we would end up meeting together to get street passes so that we can unlock things and all that fun stuff. We would meet at the mall most likely. And when Switch came out and the 3DS was obviously coming to a close, we renamed it to Nintendo of Michigan, the group. So, and it's still live on Facebook. So if anybody's in Michigan and wants to join, it's out there. Nintendo of Michigan on Facebook groups. That again could be a Street Pass again if they bring the Street Pass function back.
Well, now I've got to go look and see if there's a Nintendo of Tennessee.
And there you go.
It probably not.
You never know. But that's it was around the same time that I started looking for podcasts and found Nintendo Dads. So all right. Next question is from Zablanc. What's a game mechanic you wish existed in real life? I'm going with potions to refill your health. I'd save thousands in medical bills. And Jamie from Australia said an infinite money glitch is what he would like. So what would be a game mechanic you wish it existed in real life?
Fast travel.
That was going to be my answer.
That is a beautiful answer. Next to the infinite money glitch, I think that those are probably the top ones. And the health one. Like if you could have all three, you're all set. Money, health,
I'm
and
like, I don't want
Infrendo says
potions.
Phoenix down.
I don't want potions to refill health because there's a chance that like you won't get one, in time. I just want, how about this? Can I just plug a game genie into my life?
ooh,
Infinite lives.
I want just an infinite health code so I can just, because if I
God
had
mode.
infinite health,
Give me God mode.
forget it. All the things, all the people that have made me mad through the years. Ooh, you know how long I've been waiting for this. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself out there.
Nice.
Uh,
Beautiful. All right. Great stuff. And let's see. Nfrendo says Phoenix down. You said that already. So seeing what everybody else said anything. Nope. All right. Next up. Has Darth Platypus asks, how has as we move into Labor Day, which already happened, in the States, when do you view the start of fall? Kids back in school, a holiday, Halloween candy in stores, pumpkin spice showing up. What's your start of fall?
August 1st.
Just
Summer's over. June, July, that's summer. Bye.
Wow.
see, I'm a traditionalist and actually go by the solstice calendar. So that third week of September,
Yeah.
20th or 21st, sometimes
The
it varies.
21st night of September. Do you remember?
Darth Platypus also said that he says back to school is when he starts thinking of fall. Once October hits is when Koopa Kid says it. September can still be pretty hot in New Jersey. And I agree. It's more weather for me. It's when the weather, when I'm starting to wear hoodies, that's fall.
That's my real answer. So Tennessee has this thing that we call false fall. All right.
Yes.
And false fall is where when you get up in the morning and it's freezing in your house and outside, you have to turn the heat on. But then you come home in the afternoon after work and it's burning up because it's 90 degrees again. So it's typical in Tennessee around the middle of September to the first middle of August that you have 50-degree temperatures in the morning and 80-degree temperatures in the afternoon. And that 30-degree fluctuation just really, really just does great things for your sinuses. Like as an adult, you just golly.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, remember I grew up in Minnesota, so the we've had years where it snowed second week of September, and that snow was on the ground until May. And then, of course, I
That
can't
sounds
not
wonderful.
speak of Minnesota snow and bring up Halloween of '91. Look that up. That's something that if if you were in Minnesota and you're a Gen Xer, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Um, but
Nice.
in Kansas, you said that if, when it starts getting hoodie weather, yeah, Kansas doesn't really get hoodie weather until January most of the time.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I'm moving to
so we
Kansas.
we don't like we don't get our fall is still 80 degrees.
Now, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you get down here where we are, Tim,
Yeah.
that's when you start needing like a subscription service to Manscaped so you can always have crop preserver on hand.
Okay.
Because yeah, you know,
You'll need that for a lot
yeah,
longer. Yeah.
we have
Okay.
hoodie
Here.
weather. We have hoodie weather here for like 3 days. It's like, well,
Right.
hope you enjoyed fall and winter. It's time for spring.
See, Michigan is much longer. We get
Yeah. It's
I'm
it's
wearing
more
hoodies
along the
for much
lines of the
longer.
Minnesota one that I remember.
Like I said, it sounds wonderful, magnificent.
It's colder for probably nine
Oh,
months. And
let's
then we
go.
get 3 months of warmth.
Maybe I
Maybe
need to
four.
move. Maybe I
Maybe
need to
four
move
months.
up there. That's my retirement plan. I'm just moving north.
You're gonna go north.
Ugh,
That's
I,
that's the way my dad talked, and actually he wanted
no,
to move to Alaska.
let me just tell you.
You,
I'll tell
you
you
don't
something.
want winter in Alaska. You got
Yeah.
15 feet of snow on the ground. No, thank you.
Can I just be honest with y'all? I hate the sun. I hate it. It's
Yeah.
hot. It's bright. It makes things hot and bright. Oh,
Yes.
I just hate it. I hate warm weather. I hate the outdoors. Ugh, terrible.
Yep. You need to move up here. All right. So that was another great question, of course. Koopa Kid 80 asks, "What are your plans for the holiday weekend, and are your kids as excited to go back to school as mine?" So, what
Hmm.
did you guys do on Labor Day weekend? Anything?
I got back from a student ministry retreat with my church about lunchtime, and then we called telehealth at 4 p.m. for my wife for her back, and at
Oof.
6 p.m. I was getting medicine for her, and then I came home from doing that, and everyone else had already eaten, so I warmed up my ribs in the microwave. And then at
That
10
doesn't
a.m.
sound pleasant.
And then at 10 p.m. I woke up my in-laws and told them that I wouldn't be able to drive them to the airport the next morning because I wasn't leaving my wife alone because she couldn't get out of bed by herself or get up out of a chair by herself. And then I went to bed and had the worst night's sleep of my life. It's wonderful. Great day.
I bet you want to redo that again.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm ready. Like I knew that I knew our day was already going to be wonky from getting back from that, but did not expect that other stuff.
Yeah,
But the ribs were good.
that's good. I'm glad it ended up still being good. Jesse, what'd you end up doing?
Yeah, we went to one of our Shire mates' house where she cooked some hot dogs, hamburgers, some vegetables in her Traeger, and had dinner over at her place. With
Nice,
It was fun.
nice. Uh, For me, it was just visiting family a couple days in a row, which was nice, especially because it was warmer here. We got to go by the pool. But man, that can be draining sitting in the sun for so long.
See, I told you.
But yeah, it was pretty much Monday. I did nothing and sat around and got a good amount of hours into SteamWorld Heist. So but yeah, so that's what we did on Labor Day weekend. And my kids I only had one kid left and going back to school, and he was not as excited. Actually, he was already a week into it. So uh but he doesn't complain about it much. I mean, he's told us he wishes he didn't have to go to school, but I mean, I think we were all like that, where we didn't have to go to school and we could just play outside all the time
Is he
or play
senior
video
or junior
games.
this year?
He is a junior this year, so he's
Okay.
got one more year
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, we don't have anyone in school anymore. The youngest graduated in 2020, but yeah, our school year started like third week August, so it's already like 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
Our school starts here the first Wednesday of August,
Okay.
but they get out the midweek of May.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah, ours is like the week before Memorial Day, so third week May.
Okay. And your kids, do you, for homeschooling, what do you guys do?
They typically start since local kids start um middle of the week, that we try to start the week after that.
Okay.
So like they'll have a full week.
Are they
But
also
my
juniors?
kids, yeah, they are. Well, technically my son is supposed to be a senior, but we held him back a grade.
Right, that I
So
remember. I knew they were both
they're
the
both
same
junior.
grade.
Um
Okay, so all three of your kids are in the same place.
yeah, so
Class of 26.
right.
Yes.
And I technically am graduating 26 as well,
Woo!
because
One big graduation
I'm
party.
I'm actually, like, I'm done in the fall of 25, but the graduation weekend at the seminary is the same weekend that my daughter has her Nutcracker performance, and that'll be her final one because she'll be a senior. So I'm not missing that. We're not gonna make her skip that. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll just defer graduation.
There you go. All right. Mecca's second question is, might be a bit of confusing question, but what are some lessons you think Nintendo took after seeing the other big name companies' failures, like what happened with Concord? What do you think Nintendo does right when it comes to this? And ZeBlanc
That's a
says, do we not remember everybody 1-2 switch?
that's a good question though. See, I think that Nintendo already wins by continuing to develop games that are couch co-op, where other companies and the big other two console systems have abandoned that, in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Nintendo still believes in getting people together on a couch in a room somewhere to play a game is probably the best way to do it, and I agree with them. So
They
I
also
think
budget very well too. So
yes,
they're not spending a ton of money on games. They make good games, they make them fun. And we don't know their budgets, but they budget.
but they're not
We don't know the
photorealistic
amounts.
games, so they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that type of budget, but they don't
Yes.
need to be.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and
if
Nintendo,
a game doesn't do well, like everybody 1-2 switch, then that was something
yeah,
they tried.
yeah, yeah. That's something that Nintendo's good at, is being diverse. They get 10 games out a year. So
mhm,
if one doesn't do well, they have 9 others that
yep,
can. You know, like Sony spent anywhere between 100 and 200 million dollars over 8 years on Concord and got nothing out of it. Yeah, I don't know what else Sony's got coming out this year, but Ubisoft has 2 games out this year, and neither of them look like they're selling well.
Yep.
You know,
And I think
literally lying to their investors, saying that they've got good community feedback, where they don't. They have the exact opposite of good community feedback.
I think too that also shows that Nintendo isn't just about the making money part, because they are taking chances on some of these games, especially towards the end of the life of a system or whatever. They start, they, like you said, Jesse, they might release 10 games, but a couple of them might be something that's not part of their, the Mario, Zelda, and Metroid stuff. It's like, hey, let's try a sequel to 1-2 switch and make it everybody 1-2 switch, and let's do this with it and see how that goes. So, and they give it a shot, and we don't see numbers on it, but who knows if it did well. One
Well,
two switch we didn't,
if we don't see numbers on a Nintendo published game, that means it didn't sell 1 million
but we
in
didn't
that
see numbers
in
on one
that
two
in that fiscal year.
we didn't see numbers on 1-2 Switch, yet they still created a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
I'm gonna need
Well-
the horse face guy to show up in another game.
Horace Show Pony.
exactly, he'll be in the next Smash Brothers.
Oh my gosh, if they did that,
Oh my!
I would love it.
Yes, for sure.
That is my kind of weird
That
character.
that would be epic.
Switch 2 has Smash Brothers Ultimate Deluxe, and they'll have new characters they add, and that will be one of them. He'll get an invite.
It still won't be Waluigi.
It still won't be Waluigi.
So we'll get Horsehead guy.
And Big Man.
Yeah.
I have to write that down. Still won't be.
It still won't be
Waluigi.
Waluigi. Yeah.
Never
All right.
Waluigi.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Right. That's a good one too. All right. Great question again from Mecca. And the last one is from Mikey Burgett. With this past Wednesday, September 4th, being the 35th anniversary of the premiere of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and this coming Monday, September 9th, the 35th anniversary of the premiere of Captain N, the Game Master. If you have to pick one show to watch, which one are you going to watch? Spider Shin said all of them. I answered yes. What are your guys' answers?
I'm gonna watch Captain N over Mario.
Okay.
Mario was okay.
See, I remember not liking the cartoons as well as much as the live action skits. They were amusing sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Especially when they brought
I hated
on
the live action part. I was like, yeah.
Especially when they brought on whatever 1989 public, big celebrity TV celebrity they bring on as a guest.
Yes.
So sometimes it's a hit or miss on what happens, but yeah, I think I'm also going to say Captain N. I remember the first season of that being complete garbage, but there was some good episodes in season 2. Like I think my favorite episode, and I think it's a good episode, is the one that kind of is following Zelda 2.
There is a Mega Man episode where they're in Megaland and all of the robot masters look horrendous. They're like nightmare fuel versions of them.
Yeah, but like Link gets jealous of Kevin, and Zelda and the Princess Lana kind of buddy up. If I remember right, I think that was a good episode. You can actually see that, find that one on YouTube.
All of them are on YouTube, because just last week or so, I said to my son, I said, have you ever heard of Captain N, the Game Master? And he's like, I think you told me about it. And I was like, let's watch the first episode together. So we brought it up on YouTube, and he was like, why is Simon Belmont like this? What have they done to Mega Man? That's not Mega Man. But yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, because at the time that show was developed, a lot of these games only had one game, maybe two.
I think I think at the time Mega Man 2 was out, Castlevania 2 was out. Kid Icarus, of course, only had one game. Then the villains were based on Punch Out, Kid Icarus, and Metroid. Metroid only had one game out at that time. And then if you do remember, Jesse,
they got Mother Brain and Eggplant Wizard.
Yes, and King Hippo.
Yeah.
But if you remember the second season, they added to the Good Guys Game Boy.
Oh yeah,
who was a living.
I didn't like him.
Yeah, he was not cool.
He wasn't a good character to add.
Yeah. So
sounds like Adventure Time.
I just love.
Well, that's where I'm sure that's where Adventure Time Beepo was.
Yeah.
Gets a copy of that.
I love the whole like Captain N. Like Mario is just Mario, right? Like, but in Captain N you go to different games, different settings, and so never knew what was going to happen. All right, guys. That's all of our questions for the week. So we're going to close out the show here. I want to thank you for hanging with us for episode 494 of Nintendo Dads. And as we close the show out, a huge thanks to our Patreon producers. That's Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, RJ Kern, Solo Something, and our other 100 plus patrons who can get entered into win a Nintendo Switch Lite Legend of Zelda edition later this month. All you have to do is be a patron of the show or be a Twitch Prime subscriber over using your Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe to us on Twitch. We've got 16 of those and over 1,400 Twitch followers and nearly 7,700 YouTube subscribers. If you haven't liked and followed us on any of those services, go on over there, smash that bell and ring that like button and, do the thing. It'll be great. Basically, we say all this to say thank you. We would not be where we are without you guys. So thanks so much for everything. You can also check out our website, nintendodads.org. We've got Spotify podcast feeds for our show, as well as other shows like Star Wars Dads, Retro Logic's family of podcasts featuring Retro Logic on topic retro, retro groove, and film logic, and our newest YouTube videos, tweets, links to social media, Patreon, Extra Life pages, and our merch. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Manscaped, over at manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off your Manscaped order and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS. Again, manscaped.com, use the code NINDADS. You save yourself some money and you can treat yourself. Yep, I said it. Treat yourself. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Huge thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And remember, wherever you download us in your podcatcher of choice, leave us a 5-star review and some comments. It helps people find the show. It makes things, move on up the charts. And it's just way better for everybody. We just love you, Bell. We love you more if you do that. We love you all, but we love you more if you make comments and leave a 5-star review. If you leave a 1-star review, we don't love you. Well, we love you, but just not as much. 5-star reviews. We love more. That's the point. Anyway, for me, for Tim, for Justin, and some kind of Mickey Mouse water droplet goblin, this has been episode 494 of Nintendo Dads. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Please understand